Hey everybody, as you know, bans have been rolling out across the globe from Pokemon Company cracking down on unavailable and hacked Pokemon. Well, I thought since it's 2021 and since the last time I did a guide like this was about, last summer, it's time to update all of the newcomers to this channel about seed checking and how to get yourselves a shiny den without needing to hack and without getting any hacked Pokemon in exchange. All the Pokemon you get from this method is going to be 100% safe because these are actually legitimate Pokemon, 100% gotten from your game the way as it is intended. In a way, we are going to be using a couple of exploits which are safe to use so that you can get there much quicker than naturally intended. However, the Pokemon you actually obtain is a legitimate Pokemon from the game. So let's get to it. Now, the important information regarding this is I am going to be using old footage from this video, but I am going to be including a very important change, which is the seed checking part. So you're going to need to follow this video, and this video is going to be a much briefer version of this video that you're seeing right here, because right now I'm actually banned on Pokemon Sword and Shield. I do not have a way to do link trades, believe it or not. I do only have the one switch and all that stuff. However, guys, we are able to get through this, and with the link to this video, if you guys want to watch a 19-minute, very detailed, intricate guide on how to do all this, you can. It's going to be the link in the description, the very first link in the description. It's going to be in the card. It's going to be at the end of this video as well. This video, however, is going to be a refresher for people who kind of have an idea or kind of know what's going on. I'm going to make this video much shorter version to just get you through the guide once again if you have a little bit of experience with this. So first thing you want to do is you just want to select any den. You can easily Google which den in the game of even the Isle of Armor, even Crown Tundra, and even the main game, what Pokemons are in those dens and such, rare beam or not, and there you guys want to go to your settings and turn off autosave and turn speed on to normal. So like you just saw, guys, make sure you save your game. The reason we save is because we will be resetting our game if we do not get the purple beam of choice when we put it in. We're going to be keeping our eyes peeled to make sure we see the beam to see if it's red or purple before we actually do it, because we're going to be cancelling out this save, your adventure part. It's a red beam, and that's when you shut your game down. You just rinse and repeat this until you have the purple beam, unless you want a red beam. As soon as you get the purple beam and you can see it's a purple beam, that's when you want to allow to save it. Having saved your game here at this point is going to save that beam no matter what. You can go ahead and turn your text speed back to fast now, just to save yourself some time. So whatever Pokemon you just got in that first beam, you can go in and you can fight and you can catch it. You can use a Master Ball because you're actually not going to be wasting anything anyway. You're not going to be saving this event. You already saved the game before coming into the raid. You're actually going to be closing your game after this link trade so that you can go back to having the exact same beam you just spawned without this whole situation being saved right here. So anyway, you're going to have to catch this Pokemon regardless because we're going to be doing a link trade with this Pokemon. So now for the very, very important big change. This is cute.berrychan.net. I am going to link this just underneath the video in my description for your convenience, guys. This is a seed bot, which happens to do a couple of other things. Now, bots have come a long way since 7 months ago as well. This bot will allow you to get this number that you can see right here. The Pokemon we just caught in my den, after I do a link trade with one of these bots by using this link code and looking for Berry, the bots, there's two, so it's getting through a good crowd pretty quickly, and it's not that busy either. Once you do the link trade with that Gyarados you saw, you're going to get a code like this. The number is going to be unique for every Pokemon, for every den you guys do, but there's a lot of details in here. After you've done the link trade, you're going to look for this, but you're going to look for it with your trainer name, your in-game trainer name right here, and the Pokemon you traded, alright? And it's going to give you details like this. It's going to show you this type of shinies you have right here. Here we can see our closest shiny is actually a square shiny, and it's 8,186 days away. Right here is the next shiny. It's a star shiny. It's actually 8,521 days away. So I have the choice. If I were to skip those number of days using my den date skip, we'll see it later, I can actually get to those shinies, and I can exploit the den by doing 4 days earlier resets to make the Pokemon in that den the Pokemon I want to be square shiny. I can control those things. For anyone who's new to this, I know it's going to be mind blown, but honestly, watch the detailed video and you'll understand everything and you'll be able to copy it just fine. I managed to speed record it and I managed to do a shiny den from nothing to a shiny den of my choice in 30 minutes. So you guys can do it as well. It might take a couple of hours and stuff, but there's a lot of details to this. So in order to get that seed number we just showed you, go to do a link trade. Just like in the game, you're going to have to be online, of course. However, you're not going to use the code you're watching right here. You are going to use the code at the top of the Berry Chan website that I have linked for you in the description. Make sure you search for the link trade partner and you're going to get Berry, okay? Make sure you get Berry, and then you're going to go over to that Gyarados or whatever Pokemon you caught from your den and you're going to trade it like normal. The bot is going to cancel on you, and after the bot cancels, it's going to produce your seed number on the website. Guys, the next step is to close your game. Close it and you'll go right back to when you had that purple beam and you would never have wasted a Master Ball, never have caught that Gyarados, but you do still have the same seed. So when you find the shiny that you want and you want to try and get to this frame right here, if I can actually highlight it, that'd be great. It's actually 4,343 for the nearest square shiny right there, okay? That is the number we want to type into a website called dateandtime.com. It's actually timeanddate.com, sorry, but on timeanddate.com, go to the date-to-date calculator. In the start date, you want to put today, and you want actually that date to be exactly the same as your Nintendo Switch system. So before you do that, check your Nintendo Switch settings to make sure that date is the same as the start date. In the days up there at the top, guys, you want to put the number you got from the bot, not 1700. It's going to be different for everybody. So like I said, the 4000 number is what I would put in here, and that gives me the target date that I'll be aiming for with day skips on my Nintendo Switch. At this point, guys, I can go back into my game, and when we go back in, we're going to be right back to where we had the purple den. So now for the next very, very important part, we are going to be activating an exploit that actually helps you to do this in the game, helps you to skip days while keeping your den and all that stuff. What you want to do is you want to connect to the internet once again, because we're going to be doing a fake link battle. We're actually going to go into link battle here, go into single battles. The beauty of this is it doesn't really matter. Nobody's really doing this seriously. It does not affect rank, and it is safe to do because it's not ranked or anything like that. But when you actually catch a match here, you're going to disconnect from the internet right now, okay? So you have various ways to do that. You either hit airplane mode if you're using handheld, or if you're using wired, pull the switch out of the dock, okay? And your communication with the server will be interrupted, and that, voila, will activate a glitch that allows you to skip days, and the den with it. The den will skip and change every day that it was supposed to be active. So say for today's Pokemon is whatever it was Gyarados. Tomorrow's Pokemon is actually going to be a different Pokemon. And we're going to skip days all the way to the shiny den that we saw the seed give us. I highly recommend you fly to a town at this point, guys, so that you can do this method following in a Poke Center to save your game from crashing. This will stop you from crashing because otherwise too many things might load when you come back into the game and you might have an issue with crashing, and it's very awkward to try and find your den again. So now that you're in here, guys, you do the classic day skip. Go down to system settings, date and time, and then you can go forward one day. When you go over to the day, you have to scroll up one day. But there's some important information, guys. When you get to the end of the month and you want to continue to the next month, you do have to change the day and the month, okay? But here at this point, guys, is a very, very quick way. You can just skip in and out, and you can skip the days like this. Now that it's all set up, the game is still open, of course. You are going to be skipping frame by frame in the den that we just activated. And we're going to be doing this to the target date that Time and Date website just gave us after we put in the number of skips we want to do. Another important thing though, guys, we are actually going to be doing it up to 4 less than the actual target date, because when we're 4 less, that's when we can manipulate what Pokemon spawns in the den. I know it's a lot to take in, guys, and like I said, if you are new to this, I highly recommend you do check out the full video. This goes into extreme detail of everything. Like we said here, guys, it shows us the 13th. We don't want the 13th, we want the 9th, because at the 9th, guys, is when we will save our game and we will be able to exploit the den to manipulate any shiny we want, which is the beauty of this exploit. Now, the fastest way to do this is to actually take your Nintendo Switch out of its dock and do a sort of patterned tapping with your thumbs. This is me doing this back in the day, and what it is it's like left, left, right. to hit OK. Left, left, right, okay? Left, left, right. And you can get into a rhythm doing this and get through those days extremely quickly so that you can close in 4,000 day skips in a matter of maybe an hour to 2 hours, depending on how fast you do this and how accurately you do this. As you can see, I'm coming to the 30th, the 31st here. Don't forget, at the 31st, at the end of each month, it goes back to 1, and you have to skip the month as well. You have to bring it to the next month for it to count. If you don't, the day skip does not actually count. And all you do in that situation, if you make a mistake, is you just have to add a day to your target date from time and date, because the day skip just didn't count. So you're just going to have to add one, and that just is going to cause some confusion. Just be careful, guys, with your maths here. Just be careful with your tapping. Don't accidentally skip the months if you don't want to get too confused. But of course, the beauty as well, again, wow, look how young I am. That's amazing. I want to get back to this. But guys, if you do make a mistake and you're kind of getting close to the target date, you can always just use the seed checker again. It will give you an updated seed. You can check the seed again to see how many day skips there are left until your next shiny. That's just a very easy way to, just if you get confused, to update your count. And it should be okay, should not be too busy. Many people know this, and you can do this in many places with sysbots already. Guys, the next part is one of the most important parts so that you can control the den and get any shiny of your choice in the den. When you are actually getting close to your shiny frame, the shiny frame itself is the shiny Pokemon, the day, the target date that time and date would have given you. You actually want to save your game 4 or more days beforehand, but you definitely want it to be close enough so that you can manually skip in a much slower fashion, which I'm going to show you now, to actually control the shiny. So right now, I've saved 4 days ago, and I've skipped manually to this den to try and find my shiny. And what we want to do is, well, we want to check to make sure. Okay, so obviously you do not want to save 3 days away. You do not want to save 2 days away. You have to save 4 days or more away so that you can skip to check the shiny, to know where it is, basically to know how many counts away it is that you can do this manually. And as you can see, I have a shiny Barbaracle right here. Now that I know that's the shiny, I know I can count to that next time. That's not the shiny I want, so I'm going to close my game to go back to the save, and then I'm going to manually start over. I'm going to manually skip all the way to that den, which is either going to be 5 or 6 counts away, 6 days. And then in doing this manually, you're going to be, what you're seeing right now is the old-fashioned way to skip days. Much slower, but much more careful, okay? You go into your game. You don't have to be online for this skips, guys. You can be if you want, but it doesn't matter. And you go into your den. So we're actually saving ahead 1 date because we know it was more than 4 away. I think it was 5 or 6 away. So we just went ahead and saved 1 ahead. Here we're going to go invite others. We're going to hit the menu and we're going to go down to system settings, and then we're going to skip a day using our Joy-Cons or controller like normal. 1 day, go to OK, and go back into our game. That is going to allow us to skip this day and change the den to the next day. We are going to do that on repeat 4 or 5 times until we get to the actual shiny frame that I've counted, the target date that is going to be on time and date, the website you hopefully use accurately. And obviously, guys, I highly recommend you do check beforehand. So make sure you do check your seed. Make sure you see that you're actually close to the shiny, but not too close that you lock it in. The reason, by the way, that we save 4 days or more ahead is that if you manage to save 3 days to the shiny, then the shiny den locks forever. Pokemon in the 4th den or further away can change every time you change the day or the save. So that's what we're doing. That's why we want to be able to control it, because I didn't want to come in for a shiny Barbaracle. I wanted to get a shiny G-Max Blastoise in this case. So we're looking at the target date, guys, and hopefully the target date is correct. The target date may change depending on different circumstances regarding your day skips. Keep that in mind. That's why it's always worth to recheck. And finally, guys, on the target date, we do have our G-Max Blastoise. This is actually a 100% legitimate shiny G-Max Blastoise with hidden ability, and it took me quite a while to get to this when I was doing it the first time. We go in, we don't invite others because we're actually going to do this raid. We're going to beat it, we're going to catch it, and I still have this Pokemon to date. So here it is. shiny Gmax Blastoise, guys, you are all going to be able to do this method to legitimately get any shiny Pokemon from any den of your choice. You are just going to have to pick the correct dens. You are just going to have to put in a little date skip working. But like I said, guys, if you're worried about hacks and worried about the bans, this is the safest way to get any shiny of your choice because it's 100% legitimate. Okay, I know even though this was a rehash of the old method, the old video is 19 minutes long. If you are brand new, just please go watch that. It's going to be left right here for you guys, and hopefully this guide was a bit of a refresher for anyone looking to do this who did know about it in the past. This is a big part of what my channel was last year, so hopefully this is still useful for you guys. I really do. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys around for the next video. Till then,